What's up? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. We got my guest, the King of the North from Torture Talk, Reese Funeral Man. What's good? What's good?
Going on, man?
So, we're coming back to one of our favorite topics, Drake. As usual, Drake never seems to leave the news. First, we're going to talk about a debate that came up got started from Ebro and the new Ebro, Laura Styles, and what's his name? Peter Rosenberg show. They got a whole new show now. They got a whole new studio, or whatever. So they brand new. And Ebro started off with a new salvo at Drake, basically saying he doesn't think Drake has any classic albums. So of course that went viral, and that created a whole other debate, if Drake really has classic albums or not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'll come off and I'll just set the tone for your opinion on this, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to break down my theory on what a classic album is and what's the standard, for a classic album. But we're also going to look at a debate between Rory and Mal and Math Hoffa as to why Drake may or may not have a classic album. But I'm going to ask you first. Does Drake have any classic albums in your opinion?
Drake it's very weird for me, and it really depends on how you look at it, because most of his singles outshine his albums.
That's a good point.
So that's what most people focus on is Drake's singles. The classic album debate never came up about Drake until recently, till now. Nobody really cared whether Drake had a classic album. I think it got to the point now where he's at the end of his career, and people are starting to question whether he should be where he's at because he don't have a classic album to some people. Do I believe he has a classic album? I think he has two, in my opinion.
Okay.
He has two. But he has two, but I feel like they're more, in my opinion, they're more cult classics than actual classic albums.
Okay.
Because if it wouldn't be in the top. Like, I can make an argument that To Pimp a Butterfly could be in the top 10 classic albums of all time.
Yeah.
You can't make that argument for Drake at all. You can't make that with none of his albums. If you put up 10 classic hip hop albums, he definitely won't compare to them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more of a cult classic thing. I think that Nothing Was the Same. And some people say Take Care. I say Nothing Was the Same. And I'm gonna say If You Read It's Too Late.
Okay, all right.
To me, are classics. The reason why I don't say Take Care, because The Weeknd wrote most of that album. So that was The Weeknd song.
That's the point. We're actually gonna talk about Take Care a little bit later, but
like 6 or 7 songs on that album is The Weeknd song.
That's a good point. I want to ask you, what's a cult classic to you, and what's the difference between that and a real classic album? I think I have a similar definition, but I kind of look at it in a different way. You know what I mean?
The cult classics could be a little bit deeper. I'll get to like this. Black Moon, Into the Stage is a cult classic to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, most people probably never heard that, but that's a cult classic. I will also say, like, 36 Chambers is not a cult classic. That's a certified classic. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm going with it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Shining would be a cult classic.
Yeah.
Helter Skelter, Nocturnal would be a cult classic. Like, that's like, you like Black Moon, you like them, that would be a cult classic. Murder Music is a classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Infamous is a classic.
Classic, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we go down the list,
so
You know
So
what I'm saying?
basically, what you're saying is, let me try to phrase it this way: a cult classic is more for that time period, kind of,
Hmm.
and for that
Yeah,
time, that was like that album was somewhat of a movement, but
yeah,
a classic stands the test of time, and no matter what,
yeah.
it is. You could listen to it at any era, and it still stands up.
If you put on 36 Chambers right now, it will still be like it. You can put that out today.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If you put on Black Moon into the stage, I don't think it would hit as hard as
agreed.
36 Chambers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I look at it this way, and I'll get into where Drake measures up against these albums, right? I'm not going to go back and compare his catalog or Kendrick's or whoever's to like an Illmatic or Reasonable Doubt or Chronic or none of that, because that's a different era. But I look at it like the 2010s was Drake, J. Cole's, Kendrick eras, right? There are 6 albums that I think are undeniable in the 2010s that no matter what, you can't say that they're not classic. You know what I mean? One is Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye West. Other one is Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar. Other one's Damn, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar. Um, Freddie Gibbs, Pinata, J. Cole, Forest Hills Drive. Now, tell me I left any other albums in the 2010s out. Those are kind of the standard of classics for that era. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if Drake has something that measures up to those albums. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's the way I kind of look at it. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have like an album of the year type album or an album that kind of was a wave for like that time. Like maybe Take Care was that album where nothing was the same. So that's the way I'm looking at it, and that's a good point you bring up. The classic debate really didn't start with Drake until Kendrick Lamar called it out on Euphoria.
Mhm.
You notice that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
You don't
never
have
really talk about it until Kendrick Lamar called that out, and now all of a sudden, oh, Drake has 2, 3 classics. Really?
yeah. You can't
Anyway,
escape. They can't escape that argument because the reason why they can't escape that argument and the reason why most people would say that Drake doesn't have a classic, because 90% of Drake's songs on his albums are not rap songs. So it's very
well,
difficult for people.
he's
Yeah.
difficult to judge.
Yeah.
I saw a post today, and they said everybody criticizes Drake for singing, but let's be honest. Eminem sang on his albums. Kendrick Lamar sings on his albums. 50 Cent sang on his albums. Lil Wayne sang on his albums, and they're all heralded as some of the greatest artists of all time. Kanye West too. Why does Drake get the bad rap for it?
I can answer that because
Now,
they don't.
okay. Well, I'm going to stop you. Don't
Yeah.
go to he doesn't write his stuff because Kanye doesn't write his stuff all the
Nah,
time.
that's not what I was gonna say.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say they don't have full-fledged R&B songs. Drake
But
has
they still think,
full-fledged R&B songs. Like you talking like not one lick of rapping.
yeah.
Like most of Scorpion is him singing. It's not even him
There's
rapping.
like a singing and a rapping one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get the whole rap and melody thing, but a good portion of Drake's songs, he's not rapping. He's just singing. If you go to
Yeah,
his
and
earlier work, he's rapping.
you know how like Gen Z and under they try and generalize a narrative
Yeah,
to play. It's almost like I call that's like a play dumb narrative. We're gonna play dumb, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
they sing too, but we all know it's not the same context. You want to miscontextualize the song or
yeah.
what have you. But yeah, we'll get to that. Anyway, I want to talk about my bad. I want to talk about a debate they had about Drake having classic albums. This is from my humble opinion, and he was talking about a debate with Matt Hoffa on his podcast of Rory and Maul. They were going back and forth about this. It's an interesting debate. So we're going to stop and start and do what we usually do and break it down and really see them making good points. I think Matt Hoffa brings an excellent point about classic albums on this, which I really want to highlight. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and share.
Classic album, I really can't judge because none of them are that to me. I just like certain songs here and there. But I'm sure a lot of y'all feel the same way. But look.
Now, I'll just point out that my humble opinion is not a Drake fan whatsoever. He has some very critical things to say about him. You know what I mean? But
bro, he look like you, bro.
Huh?
Y'all look like brothers.
He kind of does.
That's
like older version. I'd say an older version of me.
Yeah.
Like the older brother, right?
You guys sent me the video of him before. I said, wait, is that you? It's like, oh no, that's him.
Let's get right into this.
Here for a second.
Yeah, but that's a dinky Duke hat he got on, man. You could get a better hat on than that. Like, come on. You could do better than get a fitted or something, bro. Yeah, he kind of does. Yeah, the older brother.
Yeah.
I got to reach out to this dude. Maybe we can link up or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to his points.
You can't do that anymore.
It's technique, bro. It's technique, and I'm gonna tell
technique
you. I'm gonna tell you why.
Because that's the big three, and they're the only ones that have come close to even doing the album.
You know who keeps taking the Grammy for best rap album?
Lady Gaga.
Because when you play it, when you play it start to finish, it's intertwined. It's a story. It feels like a body of work. Like some albums are like watching a movie.
Okay, was Good Kid?
And when you get to the end of it, you're like,
was Good Kid?
Some albums are like scrolling on Instagram. Oh, that's crazy shit. Oh, what the is this? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't intertwine. It doesn't make you feel like this is a 60-minute listening experience. Some people are like, all right, I got 3 hits on this. I'm gonna just throw mad filler in between the shit. And it doesn't hit.
So
you feel like that about?
And here's the thing. Well, I'm gonna stop it there. That's a good point. He's gonna bring up another point too, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much gonna break it down. He's gonna basically say, listen, a classic is like a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a story where you don't want to leave. Like, basically, I'll paraphrase, like, I explain it as it's a movie where you don't want to get up to go to the bathroom. It's so good. You want to listen to every part of that album, even the parts that are kind of slow. You still want to do that, man. It's an experience. But like he said, it's like with Drake, he has a lot of dope songs, a lot of hot songs, but there's filler in between. There's filler in between and songs you can do without. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Roy just said, was Good Kid, Mad City like that? Did he listen to Good Kid, Mad City? That's the whole purpose.
You know what I think he was trying to do? He was trying to get ahead of it, right? Because Matt Hoffa was going and saying, look, a classic is like a story where you follow, and then he goes, Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I mean? I almost cut him off. Like, but you know what he really wanted to say is, I know where you're going with this. You're going to go big up Kendrick because Good Kid, Mad City was a story.
Oh,
he really wanted to say that. You see what I'm saying? But he's kind of downplaying it, but it's not. But he's not. You know what I mean? But I see what you're saying about the Good Kid, Mad City thing. What he tried to do. He tried to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll let's carry on because this gets good. This is interesting to beat what they're saying. Hold on a minute here.
Right?
Yes. I feel like Drake in a way follows the Jay-Z formula of making albums, but he hasn't had his blueprint.
I don't know about that one. You think Drake kind of has a Jay-Z type of aura around his albums or Jay-Z feel. Do you get that?
No, he's saying he follows Jay-Z blueprint on like staying relevant, jumping on people's songs, doing stuff like that. But he doesn't have like Jay-Z has a blueprint.
He doesn't have the blueprint.
Yeah,
Classic.
Jay-Z actually does, when he does an album, is actually good, but he follows Jay-Z's blueprint on staying ahead of the curve, being a front runner and all that stuff. But he just don't know how to put it together. I guess that's what
I don't even know if he does that though. Not anymore, at least.
Not no more.
I think he was ahead of the curve the first like 3 albums, but that still wasn't Jay-Z. Like a Drake album is nothing like a Jay-Z album. Now, Jay-Z, I know what people say because Jay-Z tried to stay commercial, but he tried to give you enough street and lyrical material to keep the streets and the hood interested, right?
Yeah.
But Jay-Z is way more deeper and has way more depth than Drake as far as the album is concerned. Like Drake is surface material shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like shit about, oh, he broke up with his girl. He's, this girl did him dirty. He was cheating on her, blah, 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 all of this, or just flex talk. He doesn't really have a lot of depth to his songs unless he's doing features. Because when he features like with a Jay-Z, then he really starts to rap. Jay-Z is a whole nother ball game, man. He's got songs for the ladies. He's got stories. He's got club bangers that are just timeless. I mean, he gives it to you all. I don't think he's on the level of Jay-Z. But I get what he's trying to say as to Drake tries to satisfy commercial audiences with his blueprint, but doesn't have a classic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hold on a minute. Let me see what else they gotta say.
No, man. Drake don't follow the Jay-Z form. I don't think he follows the Jay-Z
He's basically saying the same thing I said.
Formula of making albums. I see what Math Hoff is saying, right? But I think this classic conversation too is it got a huge subjective part to it. It does, because he's saying a theme that runs through the whole album, and it's like watching a movie. But for some people, to them, that's not necessarily what makes a classic album. Some people is just having a bunch of slaps. And if this one album, for the most part, got slaps, to them, it's a classic. So I think it's subjective. So you got to kind of like set your parameters of what you're going to consider a classic album.
Yo, let me ask you something. For like the new generation of hip hop fan, is that kind of their classic album? Just as long as you have slaps on there?
It could be. Me personally, I a lot of people don't maybe not agree. I think Casino is a classic.
Okay.
I love that album. I've been listening to the
thing
album.
but the thing about Casino is Casino really doesn't have slaps. It's not like surface level. He's telling stories on there. He's got songs about, you know what I mean? He's got concepts on it.
But the point I'm making is what it kind of goes with what Math Hoffa was saying about a theme.
That's right.
Most artists don't do that no more, especially that young. So when you say young, I'm saying that to me, that's the only way you can get to a classic nowadays. Because to me, even slaps don't allow you to get to a classic no more.
Yeah.
At this point, slaps don't do nothing for you no more. You got to have something that people can digest and keep with them for a while. A lot of these rappers don't have that no more. I
think the
young
slap
rappers
era is kind of running.
That's why you don't really hear from them no more.
That's
they
right.
don't have. You know what I mean?
That is true. That is true.
But I don't think that he's taking Jay-Z's blueprint without making his quote unquote blueprint, only because for the most part, Jay-Z has been the type to me. Now, look, I haven't listened to every single Jay-Z work. I'm not a huge Jay-Z fan, but for the most part, his albums have more of a theme or thematic aspect to it than Drake's has. Drake's is really literally just trying to make hits. There's no necessarily theme to it.
That is true, because it's like we were just saying, it's surface level shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's like the best conceptual song Drake had? I mean, you really can't name one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless he's talking about a girl.
What's the name? The song that he took from Diddy. What was the name of that song? I can't remember the name of the song. I think that's the song that Kendrick quoted in Euphoria. Remember? Motherfuckers Never Loved Us.
Yeah.
The song that I ever heard Drake talk about anything black.
Yeah.
Anything black.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
He has very few.
In Euphoria. Remember? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that he I don't know. I don't want to get into no conspiracies, but go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, I think Drake is so surface level with it. But the thing about it is, for this generation, a hip hop fan, the Gen Z and under, the under 30, under 25, surface level does it for them. You know what I mean? Like the Kodak Black type rappers and the Uzi Verts and all that. Like, so Drake can get away with it, and they'll call it a classic just cause it has some bangers on there. You see what I'm saying?
I honestly think that Drake is forced to conform now because Iceman, to me, it has to be some type of theme. That's why he's doing these episodes.
And it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah. He got to conform because I'm telling you, man, it's not looking good.
Not working, man. Not working. Anyway, let's keep going.
There's no storyline. It really ain't. This person said he drawn Take Care is 100% a classic.
We'll talk about Take Care.
Look, I'm not.
I don't know.
I want
the rest of the room feel like that too.
Debate.
Probably was fuming in his seat, but let's listen to this.
There's a time.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm still stuck on you don't think Drake has a classic album. But that's crazy.
Maul is officially offended. Officially offended. How dare you say he doesn't have a classic album?
I don't know.
The rest of the room feel like that too?
Oh, what's the classic?
Nothing Was the Same was a classic album.
Yeah. What's the classic? Okay, but see, y'all not saying what's yours.
Nothing Was the Same.
Take Care, Nothing Was the Same.
I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
I think
Another guy. I'm not a Drake fan.
He
just puts it out. Don't ask me. I'm not a Drake fan. Go away.
I'm a Drake fan.
I like that, man. At least he's honest about it.
I think he's super talented.
Snap for you.
What's your favorite Drake album?
No.
Okay.
Yes, my songs, but I don't.
Yes, I agree.
Album, hell no. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. See?
Damn, he said hell no. Yo, Maul is upset. You can tell he's fuming in that seat. How dare you say that?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Damn.
I think he's a good actor.
All right. What's
There's a time.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's a lot of I wouldn't say negative energy, but that wasn't as I don't think that went as well as Maul would have liked it to go.
Yep, there it is.
True.
He's upset, boy.
Go.
There's a lot of artists who probably kind of missed the whole concept of album. And they make a compilation instead of making an album, body of work that's insane. They kind of
This is a good point you got here.
like twists and turns, but it's all connected. Not many people. That's like a missing art nowadays.
okay, but
Drake don't have a classic.
What?
He don't have a classic, bro.
nothing
Just sat here and told me that
nothing was the
don't
same.
have a
as classic.
Jadakiss got 3 classic
Nothing
albums,
was
and
the
now
same
you're
as
telling me
Nothing was the same
that
because
Drake don't have a-
closest.
Nothing was the same as the classic album.
The
But
closest.
Take Care?
Take Care isn't it?
Classic start to finish.
But Matt, I think that's
I
so
don't know.
unfair too of the era that they were in. They couldn't even concentrate on doing
No.
that because post.
Rory about to say something that makes absolutely no sense, but
Yeah, I don't get what he's saying. Why is the blaming era on not making
It's not
classic
fair.
album? Huh?
I say he out there crying. You gotta understand, it wasn't fair. How is it not fair? If
You blaming the era?
Three
But see,
classics.
this is my thing. You blaming the era like there weren't any classic albums in that era, but there were classic albums, so there was a standard.
Yeah.
So, why was it not fair? Oh man.
The reason why they saying it's not fair is because the old standard still stands. Drake was supposed to be the one who changed the standard. The slaps was supposed to be what made a classic album now. And it still hasn't changed. That's why they said it's not fair. That's why the whole argument when people say, well, how can you still have these people in the top 5 and they're not around anymore? It's like, well, they stand the test of time. That's why. Drake, yeah, it's timeless. The thing about Drake is his fans and him, they try to change that and they can't.
Yeah.
Still, album to me, you don't have to have every song on your album for it to be a classic, don't have to be crazy fire. Some songs are just made to just be played one time and it goes good with just the album. I had to learn that. Every song don't have to be
it has to go with it. I agree with that.
You for real. Like every song will have to be, but to me, sometimes when you have all slaps and you have an album, like I'll give it to you like this. Let's say Take Care. Take Care has a lot of good songs on it.
Yeah.
A lot of good songs on it. And then you put it up against Damn. Damn has a lot of good songs, but Damn has maybe 2 songs on there that I probably listen to like 1 or 2 times, but they still better than every song on Take Care. So it's like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just always about every song got to be super fire for it to be a classic. It's just not the case.
I like what he said about the compilation because I think Drake, more so now in the last decade, makes compilation style albums. But see, for the mainstream and for the streaming era, that was vogue. That was like what you did, like the 19, 20, 25, 30 song double disc type deal, because they want to get the songs on streaming. They want the songs to get out there. More songs you have out, the more people are going to listen to it.
Mm.
But that doesn't go well as far as a conceptual album. And I think like Rory, he's trying to defend the era as to, well, that's what people did. So how can you not say it's not classic when, it doesn't tell a story. It doesn't flow. His albums don't flow like that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You can't redefine what a classic album is just because. You know what I mean? When there are other classic albums in that same era.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he's going with that. Let's go on.
You can have a classic song that doesn't make a classic album. So like, for instance, if there's, say Drake got 20 songs. Let's say off them 20, you might say like 3 of them was like classic joints. That don't make the whole album classic. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of what we're seeing, that the songs that hit the slaps with the filler. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
that don't make the whole album classic. You might have 3 joints that was classic. You might have 3 or 4 or 5 that's like, all right, those is all right. You know, and then the rest is just like filler. That a classic album? I don't know, man. I think people take a couple classic songs and they'll make the whole album classic.
2000 and concentrate on doing that shit, because post 2005, 6, so you were in the volume game. You had to do mixtape. Bro, Kendrick has 6 mixtapes.
You see what he's doing? You see that? It's exactly what we were saying. Yo, I got a question. Like, why is it with Drake fans, right? And I noticed only Drake fans do this. Instead of having a head-on debate about, is it classic or is it not? Did Drake win the battle against Kendrick Lamar, put out the better songs or not? Why do they always try and like straw man argument their way out of it and create another narrative as to, well, it was the era and post 2005, this is what happened. Why do they do that?
I think because they're starting to recognize that Drake has a lot of flaws in his material now. Because a lot of his stuff is starting to fall. Like he has songs that are being streamed over and over again. Yes, that's true. But I think they're starting to realize that these old arguments that they used to use, they can't use them no more. It's not working because that's why I said this classic debate is a big thing. And this is actually going to really hurt him now. Like really bad, actually, in my opinion.
Era.
The volume era is crazy.
Volume era. That's
The volume era is
he
crazy.
made up an era. The volume era.
Never heard that.
Man. Oh my God.
Like he was in the era that he was in.
But his
That's so
albums-
unfair to even put
his
that on artists like
albums.
Drake, Kendrick Cole, and in that time.
But Drake, Kendrick Cole, Kendrick and Cole, they got classic albums and they didn't go by the volume method.
The volume era.
Yeah. So they did it. All right.
Dude,
So he got puts
because,
out volume. Just because he puts out volume albums, we have to give him a classic.
But the thing is, the volumes was not classic.
Exactly. the
All the DJ Khaled's albums. was not-
volume songs.
What are you talking
The
about?
volume compilations.
Yeah, he was in the volume era.
The volume
Kendrick got
era.
6 mixtapes. Kendrick got 6 mixtapes. Where?
Yeah.
Talking about?
Yeah, I learned something new, man. Oh my God.
It's different than when you were
But,
Big,
no, it's technique,
Pac,
bro.
Nas, Jay.
Nah,
you could just
and I gotta
disappear
say,
for a second.
you know,
You can't do that
It's
anymore.
technique, bro. It's technique. And I'm going to tell
Technique
you.
how?
Oh yeah, Kendrick does it.
Yeah.
J. Cole does it. J. Cole just did it.
Yeah.
He put out albums since 2021 and he went right to number one, selling 290,000 the first week.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Tell you why.
Because that's the big three, and they're the only ones that have come close to even
And
doing the
and
album.
you know who keeps
secrecy.
taking the Grammy for best rap album?
All right, now let's check this clip out right here.
I think we've seen enough though.
Yeah.
Interesting debate. Shout out to Rory and Maul, Math Hoffa. Definitely check their podcasts out, and definitely check out My Humble Opinion on their content. But yeah, man, I'll probably sum it up. Like, for example, I'll give you Take Care, right? I'll just pull up the track list real quick before we end this, just to kind of prove or support what they're saying, right? So, all right. I mean, I actually listened to Take Care the other night, just to go on and say, all right, if people say it's classic, what are they really seeing this, right? And I went through the track list, and outside of the top hit songs like Headlines, Crew Love, Take Care, which that was like a dance song. The song with Rihanna kind of like had that disco beat in the background. That wasn't really hip hop. You know what I mean? Marvin's Room, I swear that song was boring as hell. I do not like that song. I never did. Buried Alive interlude. Obviously, that's Kendrick's big mainstream not debut, but you know, kind of breaking him out to the world or what have you. That's really not Drake's song. You know what I mean? Underground Kings is tough. Make Me Proud, another club, another big record, you know, a big radio record. Lord Knows, one of Drake's hardest records. I'll give him that. I actually like Camera's The Good Ones Go interlude. That's a singing joint though. An R&B singing joint. Doing It Wrong, kind of boring. The Real Her, now that's classic. That's a classic song. And then it comes down to like bangers, like Hell Fucking Yeah, Hell Yeah Right, Hell Yeah Fucking Right, Lil Wayne, The Motto. But does this really flow like that? You know what I mean? Like, now I didn't even realize that The Weeknd wrote the whole album. Now that you let me know that, but
He wrote 6 songs on there.
okay.
6.
Okay.
And
Which even takes away more, because that's more like a game documentary type deal with 50. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because to be honest with you, what really happened was, and this is a deluxe version. This is not even the actual, just the regular one. The regular one, I believe, is only like 14 songs or something like that.
Yeah, true.
What happened was the trilogy was Drake wanted the whole trilogy album. The whole not the 3-part. He wanted, I think it was Thursday. He wanted Thursday or something like that. And The Weeknd said, no, I'm gonna give you these songs. So he gave him 6 songs off of it because Drake wanted the whole trilogy and he was going to turn it into whatever album he was going to turn it into at the time. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He ended up giving him those 6 songs. And then that album blew. And this was, to be honest with you, this was the first time I believe Drake used a ghostwriter, like that was an artist that nobody knew of. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the first album, I don't think he really used a lot of ghostwriters.
Yeah.
Second, this album is when he started. So when people say The Weeknd kind of like the Crew Love shit and all that, like really made
True
him.
Love is classic. That's a classic song.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. But
you know what I think it is with this album? Because I remember when this album came out, and this album was more of a moment in time because like half this album was on the radio. And I think the generation that grew up with this got so used to hearing these songs on the radio over and over. They just said, oh, that album is classic. But they really weren't listening to the album. So people from that time is like, well, that was a moment in time where, he had so many bangers on the radio. I mean, The Motto, Headlines, You Make Me Proud, blah, 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 all of this. But it doesn't, I'll put it to you like this. This came out in 2011. I can make a legitimate argument that another album that came out that was really big was Watch the Throne with Jay-Z and Kanye West. That album was just as big and almost better put together than Take Care. And also Lil Wayne, Carter 4 came out that year. That rocked the whole summer. Lil Wayne, or the whole summer until it came out. I think like Labor Day weekend around that time or whatever. That album was just as big, if not than Take Care. But I think Take Care over time, because it was the best of Drake and he had so many hits on there, people streamed it. And now it's either close to Diamond or went Diamond or something like that. So people, because it's Drake's best, it's automatically classic. But to me, I don't see. This is a dope album, though. I would probably rate it an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. But it's not timeless. Like, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be honest with you, there's really only one song over there that people, in my opinion, still rocking with, and that's Crew Love. That's really it. Like, if you talking about Headlines, nobody really bangs Headlines.
Headlines was it's a radio banger. It's a nice joint, but it's not. All right, I'll put it to you like this: Headlines or Niggas in Paris, Jay-Z and Kanye West.
Come on,
you know what I mean? Headlines are Otis, and that's a comparable album because that came out in the same time period. You feel me? Like, so
I think once I think Good Kid, Mad City came out 2013, right?
2012.
2012. So it came out the next year. Once that came out, it was over for Take Care.
Yeah,
it was over.
Oh yeah,
it was over.
Yeah, like you asked me, Nothing Was the Same is my favorite Drake album.
Yeah.
That album to me, my opinion, I think that's his best album. And I don't know if that's classic. That was an album of the year contender. That was 2013, right? Yeah, I remember that was right after Good Kid, Mad City. That was up there. Up there. I'd say that and the mixtape So Far Gone was probably a classic mixtape because nothing when Drake came with So Far Gone, nothing at that time sounded like that. You know, like he was very unique with that, with the lyrics and the melodies he was using. Nobody sounded like him, so he was kind of new to the game. It was kind of like kind of in a way like when Jeezy first came out. Not the same, but a different, like nobody heard a guy like this. And this dude is is like crooning for ladies, but he's kind of got an edge to him. He kind of had a different vibe. But
He
outside
wasn't-
of that, yeah, go ahead.
He wasn't supposed to blow up. He
Yeah.
was like, remember that group, the two bulls, the black bull and the Spanish bull? What was their names? The rapping bulls. They did a song. They sound similar to Drake. This is a while ago. This was years ago.
yeah.
They did a song. They did a song when they was by a water fountain. It was a video where they was by a water fountain. I can't remember
I
their
think I know what
name.
you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
was
Black and the Spanish dude. It was a group.
Was it Spanish or Asian? It was kind of tall, right?
I think he was Asian. He wasn't. No, he was Asian. I think he was.
That's Smiles and Style Star. That's the
Yeah,
name.
that's what I believe Drake was supposed to end up like that, in my opinion. He was supposed to end up like
you mean like a commercial, like a teeny pop
teeny
type.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Kinda
supposed to make it to where he's
Kind of
at.
like the rappers that go out on the Scream tour with like Chris Brown and BTK.
Yeah.
Like them type. Yeah, you're right.
He's supposed to.
You're right.
He's supposed to be that guy. But what happened was once Lil Wayne got a hold of him and put him on like the hip hop track, because he would have never made it without Lil Wayne, in my opinion. Lil Wayne
I
really
agree
built
with that.
him into who he is.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
And I think that's what happened. He started hanging with rappers and he started doing rapper things, like for
Yeah.
real. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, but tell me what you think, people. Does Drake have a classic? You know, we don't really see it. You know, he has some pretty good material early in his career, but I don't see it. He doesn't meet the standard for me. Let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. Tell me what you think. Does Drake have a classic? Just the bottom line. Anyway, thanks for joining me again, Reese. We will catch up another time, man. Definitely check out Torture Talk and also Torture Chamber After Dark. You got two stations. Check that out. Like, share, and subscribe. And like, share, and subscribe to Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. So with that, y'all have a good night, and I'll catch up with y'all later. All right, peace.